I understand this video is a bit weird and doesn't fit my channel, but I figured it would be fun. I feel like self-critique is a good sign of someone who looks back on their past self and cringes, whether that be from triangle-shaped anime hair or the tweening they did by hand. Most of the time people do self-critique, they do it towards art they made, but I figured, why not make it about a video instead? In case you didn't know, I used to run a reactionary drama channel called Heart, which exploded in 2020 to 2021. I eventually shut it down due to feeling pressure to make drama videos and also not wanting a toxic platform, which caused the pressure in the first place. I've spent a lot of time looking back and reflecting recently, and honestly, I cringe at my old content. I went through all of it the other day and I was just yelling at myself whenever I made an error. So I figured, instead of yelling silently at myself, I should just get all that emotion out in one video like I used to do. Usually with art, people choose the worst pieces. I only have an immense shame towards 2 videos I've created. The Rant on Drake and Native I forgot to enable the evidence layer before exporting and didn't put up the fixed version, and also the Maltose Cat one, where I used guilty by association and other rhetorical flaws. With the first video, it's a small bit bitter mistake. Looking back on it, I probably should have re-exported it and put it up the next day like I've done with some of my videos on this channel. With the second one though, it was a situation that I let consume me in my savior complex of mind, and slowly brought myself down to sunk cost fallacy until I realized I was at the bottom of a hole that I myself dug, and I dragged others down there with me. I feel like that's a tiny bit too much for a lighthearted video laughing at my previous actions. That isn't very lighthearted. I figured that I needed to do something in the middle, something I can admit was good, however also has a lot of flaws. And so I settled on my Lupis Vulpes video. Everyone knows who Lupis is and what they did. I mean, the average person could know what I'm talking about. That's you. This video was made before the drama fully took off, and what this did, the video was catapulted into the algorithm and caused me to gain a lot of subscribers at once and also a toxic ego. In a way, this video represents all the flaws with my old model thinking and channel creation. While I can't say Lupis Vulpes was bad and my video was good in trying to warn others about that, my video was also very terrible and cringy, lots of editing mistakes to say the least, and also odd word pacing. In a way, this is where the root of evil my channel starts. I'm also going to be skipping a lot through this video. It's not all good, there's a lot of me just talking through screenshots, and I'm sure you all don't want to hear any of that. The full video is linked below in case anyone is interested though. Before we get started, if you're new to this channel, please think about subscribing. I regularly post both Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats content, so you'll never be bored. And to my current subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all, I seriously mean that. So without further ado, let's watch the cringe fest. Inherent biases when consuming her media. I would have recorded this earlier, but my audio quality was so terrible. I've met kids on Halo with better, and I didn't have my mic on me, and in addition, my headset doesn't really work with my recording software. So now that I'm back at home with my mic, I'm recording. If you don't believe what I say or believe I take too long to say things, you can view the proof in the Google Drive attached below. Without further ado, let's begin. You should have edited out that take, not even 30 seconds in. Sigh. Lupis Vulpes was an early animator on YouTube with videos that date back to 2010. She never really stuck to a fandom despite having a few Warrior Cats videos up. In 2011, she debuted her now infamous character Darky, and just a month or 2 later, she posted a video announcing she'd reached 66 subscribers. Only a tiny bit after that did they release their first mini-series called The Birds Are Working. Included Darky and several other characters trying to escape from a lab. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't really know what it's about. By December of 2011, their current art style is becoming very visible in the way that they drew. From here, things sped up. In 2013, they released their first map called The Bidding. My largest problem with this section is the lack of visual appeal. You say that she made a 66 subscriber video, but you don't even show the thumbnail of it. You also don't show the character Darky. You need more evidence for this section and more things to keep the viewer interested. Remember that one character called Darky who I said was infamous? Well, let me explain why. The most obvious meaning was that it was used derogatorily against black people. Even a Kiwi Farms thread that I read said that the name was a tiny bit racist. And let me say, Kiwi Farms is a very racist site. Please give a more in-depth explanation of why Darky is offensive instead of saying it's racist. Maybe go over the origins and why it's derogatory, specifically how it's meant to be offensive to black people's skin color. Also, this issue will pop up in most early videos, but younger me, please stop admitting to using Kiwi as a source. Sure, you can use it, but just don't mention it. It makes it look incredibly edgy and also misinformed. Or better yet, just don't use the website at all. it's very biased and they tend to have a narrative that they like. It's just a hive mind in general. It's even worse than the other mind from Wings of Fire. Before we get to the meat of the story, I'm going to talk about some things too small to make their own section, or things I'm not informed enough to talk about, so I don't want to accidentally misinform you. Apparently, she made tribal designs and that's bad because of cultural appropriation. Because I don't understand what that means, let's go on to the next thing. I'd also like to point out that in this section, I don't really know what I'm talking about. You can tell that due to all the pauses and ums. I was just parroting what others were saying and not understanding what I was really saying or doing research into it. Something that I was prone to in further videos, especially when it came to NSFW images I couldn't see due to being minor. And I should have left those out of the video. Something that isn't the best trait as a commentator. I also have a laid-back, almost bored tone here. It makes it clear that I found the claims to be a bit less important and not a big deal at the time, and I'm sorry for not taking that more seriously. I can't help but laugh at the title. Early homophobia? It makes it sound like a medical disease. Sorry, miss, it can't be helped. Your son is terminal homophobia. This may seem entirely unrelated, but here's what Lupis Vulpes had to say about Steven Universe. Yeah, Pride and Prejudice is so beautiful. The story is so good, and I can relate to it a lot. I'm not super into gay stories, which is probably why I stopped watching Steven Universe. Like, the whole hidden agenda kinda turns me off. I like stories that are there to be, well, stories, not hidden messages or themes, if that makes sense. I can apologize if that came off as mean, but I may watch the theme since you said the theme is good. I don't get why she's kind of calling LGBT people something that is like a hidden agenda or something. Like, we need to kind of have a purpose in order to be there. It's kind of rude. Also, all media has hidden themes unless you are watching Dora. Even Avatar has hidden themes. Hidden themes are good for media as they add depth. Steven Universe's underlying theme is definitely not gay good, straight bad. It's more so peace good, war bad. And that's not a hidden theme either. Kind of like how being gay is obviously not a hidden theme since they literally have a song about them being gay in the 30th episode. I'm a bit ashamed to say that I consider this to be the best part of the video. While it isn't that important in the long run, it's clear that I know what I'm saying and I'm in my element. All of the ums and pauses that plague this video are practically gone. I'm in my zone with media analysis here. I'm not just parroting what someone else says or going off of a popular opinion, and I'm adding it into the conversation, which is what any commentator should do. I just want to say that I don't associate with Lupis Vulpes any longer. Yes, she was my friend and the things that she said took visual and mental health. I cannot in any right mind condone the things that said about LGBTQ plus community. Red. For context, I was in Lupis since 2014, a moderator on her license, as well as a moderator on her Patreon Discord. The entire time, I did try and compare with mine and see the transnational non-binary person, and on my point of view, she respects that. 2017-ish, when she had tried it off, I received original and no problem about that one, she had no problem on my personal name, and part of her time for someone who wouldn't go ahead and mask. She mentioned making character from Captain is true, Marlon gay. A year or 2 later, she became a lot more drawn to the emotion called her friends, despite from hang out, talk, playing AT&T. A further problem is we know for sure in the live religious scripture, which I had no problem. I realized that not every religious person is created. I know a lot of very kind Christian allies, as well as LGBTQ plus Christians. It's not kind of stuff when she started sharing pro-life things, however. She asked me to one Patreon during my subject, so now we're still friends. However, she seemed to want to avoid conflict at all costs. Even this meant that people mentioned to her Patreons are imposed of potential threats to represent individuals in there. Many of them links. But some of them wanted to be blocked, but one thing we brought up, she wasn't often, well, they haven't done anything minimally yet. So some people never trigger immediately in front of other people. When Michael approached me with screen capture, who's not my girl, tried despite her having no problem that years ago, I immediately let her about it, trying to explain it from pride. That was obviously screen I just saw right away. I had no context about it. This is probably context. I tried to be gentle since I thought she was just confused for the right intention, as she had been in the past, but her response just made me frustrated and hurt. I knew I should have spoken up about this when this happened. At that point in time, I was really emotionally vulnerable. I just came out of my parents and also was in the process of moving apartments. It was mentally exhausted and I apologized about this. Anyway, she closed the Patreon server and we haven't talked since. I'm bitter and angry. I have no idea she treated distance so badly during her relations in regards to gender. I have no idea she said homophobic things about hidden agendas. And I know she didn't respect my identity. I would have tied a lot sooner. I kept on giving her second chances because I honestly believe she was a good person. Emily, my identity is not a choice. It's not politics. It's who I am. And you don't respect that and you don't respect me. I'm sorry, 601 coach. That has been really overwhelming. Things are hard for me to process in the past couple months. Wow. I didn't know about the whole deal with Jensen. However, it seems like that is a very important thing. I haven't been able to find anything about it since I've read this, so I can't post any evidence that anything ever happened. However, this kind of counts as a piece of evidence in my opinion. If I receive anything about this, I'll of course post it to Google Drive linked in the description. 2 critiques here for me, or well past me. Firstly, why would you read out that whole entire thing? You could abbreviate it or summarize the points instead of taking out 2 minutes that could have been better dedicated to something else. Second of all, I admitted myself that there was no evidence to this entire section. So why did I spend so much time on something with no evidence? I don't know. Oy vey. I love this section and kinda sad it never got brought up again. That's likely because most of my other videos tended to be focused on darker topics after this, or situations that didn't receive nearly as much widespread attention, meaning they didn't get memes. So that's the entire video. I'll have to give it a C tier ranking. It's good, it's classic, but does not live up to the hype. It probably should have had more visuals to keep a viewer entertained and added more in the commentary of the actual evidence being shown on screen. There are definitely a lot of issues here which are prophetic of what will later happen with that channel, and it's almost haunting to see. If I had just caught those signs earlier, maybe I could have been less of an ass in more harmful situations. Whatever, you can't mourn what could have been. Did you like this video? It was fun to make and laugh at my younger self. I'd be open to making videos like this in the future on my old commentary videos. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I make Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats videos pretty often, and your support would mean a lot to me. And to those who are already subscribed, thank you for your continued support. I would have gotten here without y'all. That's it. Peace out.